Hi, I'm Joan Newcomb, and today's Mystic Minute is playing the game on multiple dimensions. What the heck does that even mean? I have been talking about this life, this world, this experience that we're in is a simulation, it is a game, it is a creation of consciousness, and that you are consciousness playing in this reality. And this reality is one of polarities, it's one of dichotomies, it's ones where opposites are true. You can find good and bad that are completely opposite in this world. And trying to explain what it is like to operate in this reality is always full of contradictions. And here's the other confusing thing is that when we are trying to navigate this realm differently, navigate it as consciousness, we are still applying the same measurements that we have from the lower levels of experiencing things. So I talk about it, level one as being the level of just playing as the personality or the body in this realm. And this is where you really feel the density the most. You feel the frustration and the powerlessness, and things that are outside of you are more powerful than you are. And then level two is the realm of thought, where you can actually have a feeling of more control, bringing thoughts into reality, thoughts becoming things. And there's a whole new skill set of doing that, of manifesting your reality. And yet we're still, doing it from the perspective of the body, personality, and density and effort. Well, even at level 3, and even labeling at level 3, is putting it into our time-space construct, which is really the definitions of this body personality level of the game. Body personality level of the game use things in terms of definition, in terms of going from worse to better, or younger to older, or less knowledgeable to more intelligent, or less mature or capable to more capable. And so when you get into the realm of consciousness, or experience the realm of consciousness, all that other stuff goes out the window, and it feels expansive, and it feels joyous, and it feels effortless. And this is where you start going, oh wow, there's synchronicity in the world, and oh, I just saw 111, and I just saw this person twice, or I thought about my friend, and there's a person who looks just like her, whatever that is. Anyway, you're in this realm that is more hard to define. So one of the things that happens when we tip over into this level is some people immediately seem to get depressed because they suddenly don't have their goals or their desires anymore, because there isn't anything to achieve, there isn't anything to desire, because it's all a fun game, it's all desirous, you can instantaneously manifest it. There's no need to have a goal or to try to achieve something, because you just know that you're creating it as consciousness. And I've also had some people start to argue in this point that there is no free will because everything is pre-programmed. And yet when you're at the lower levels of body personality, you start going, well, yeah, there's choice. And so there is free will from the body personality level, because you feel like you have the free will to go left or the free will to go right. And yes, the game is pre-programmed and structured. There's these limitations of density and effort, and really all possibilities are happening at once. But that doesn't mean you don't have the choice to experience this, that, or the other. I mean, the very basic realm of body personality, you don't even know there's a choice, I guess, and you're just operating off the programming. But the thing I'm realizing is, as you get to these higher levels of realms, there's still this part of you that wants to try to figure out how to, master the skill, and, strategically play the game in a way to make stuff happen. And the thing is, there's no right or wrong at this level. There's no good or bad. And the big thing is that you're not constantly experiencing nirvana unless you've had a mini stroke or some horrible traumatic event where then suddenly you're propelled into this 24/7. We're moving in the layers up and down all the time. And even if you're not experiencing upper levels of things, even if you're not experiencing the upper levels, you're still consciousness. You still are. You still are experiencing all at once. And even at this level, it becomes a choice. Do you want to play with feeling it this way or play with feeling it that way? So I would say one of the differences with being at level 3, or however you want to define it, start to navigate life as consciousness, is that it becomes playful. It becomes an option. What if I try this? Because this game is a playground. It's an experiment. What if I try this? And pretty much any other explanation, and even this explanation, is a story in this hologram. And at the level of consciousness, if you're navigating it at the level of consciousness, you get to make stuff up and have it become real. And the moment I said that is, I realized that you're making stuff up all the time and having it become real as well. It's just, embodied personality, you're creating your own limitations. You're viewing things through your own stuck pictures. So you're creating through resistance. You're creating through discomfort. And at more expanded levels, you can create through creativity, playfulness, amusement. And again, there is no good or bad about this. There are also times of extreme discomfort that you're navigating as consciousness. And there's no ethics about them feeling good or bad about it. It's just a sensation. I've had people navigate illnesses through being aware of, this is pain. Curious feeling, this is pain. And then what happens often for them is that it unfolds, it reorganizes, it resolves itself, usually in unsurprising and unpredictable ways, rather than through the chop it off, burn it off, other ways of doing things. So really the main point is to be aware that you can be navigating your life as consciousness and experiencing other levels as well. So you have not permanently gone back to the starting point, to the beginning, if you're hitting a time of extreme discomfort, trauma, illness, or any of those things. It's just all part of playing this game. As consciousness, there are not specific levels. And there's no good or bad to how you're doing it. It's all an experiment. It's also all an experience. So play with these ideas. Let yourself have a shift of perspective as you're navigating your world today and see what happens. And if you like these videos, you can subscribe to them on YouTube. If you'd like to know more, my website is joan-newcomb.com. I have a weekly podcast and radio show. I also have a weekly blog and newsletter. I do these videos every week, and I have a meetup that I have around the Puget Sound every week in Seattle, Bellevue, Tacoma, University Place, and Vashon Island. And I do monthly webinars. And if you want to know more about navigating life as consciousness, and if you would like my support and help in doing this over a period of time, I have coaching programs that I work with people around the world, Skype, Zoom, phone, whatever works, and help hold the space for you to go through a complete transformation in your life on all levels. So go to joan-newcomb.com and I'll see you in another week with another Mystic Minute.